Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Hello, hope you guys are having a great day. Today's video is really cool because we are going to be making egg weights and then also some other types of sinkers out of just scrap lead. A buddy of mine gave me some lead and I've decided, hey, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make some weights with that. So to start, you're going to need a few different tools. I'm kind of going to walk you step by step through this, but the main tool that you're definitely going to need is a melting pot of some sort. Now you can melt lead using a turkey fryer or something like that, but I highly recommend one of these. This is just a lead melting pot. Super easy to come by, not that hard to find, and it works great. You just put the lead straight in there, you turn it on, it melts pretty easily, and then on the bottom, you can kind of see right there, that's some old lead, and it'll drip straight out into your molds. When you're melting it, you kind of want to turn it up as high as you can when you start, and then once that lead melts, go ahead and turn it back down to 5, 6, 7, somewhere in there. That way you're not producing too much slag on top. The melting pot also has this little thing here, and this helps with being able to rest your molds on top of it. That way you don't have to hold them, because that is very hot and a little dangerous, so any help you get is very needed. Right here we've got different molds. These two are actually the same, but I've got 3 different molds. I got this one, which makes like a sinker for the bottom, and you can kind of see what that one looks like. And then I've got 2 different egg weight ones. The first egg weight one here makes 1 and 1.5 ounce egg weights. This is also the same, makes 1 to 1.5 ounce. And then this one here makes all different sizes of egg weights. Makes anything from about an 1/8 ounce all the way up to 3 ounce egg weights. So when you go to make these egg weights, you've got this little stick here, and that stick slides in there, and that's what makes your hole for your line to go through for your egg weights. When you're using these, it's kind of difficult to pull them in and out of your mold, so you might want to use some oil or some wax beforehand. That way it helps make it a little bit easier to pull that out. As you'll see once I get going, that it's kind of tough to get that going and pull it out. So wax or lead, so you're going to want to try to use wax or oil. That way it just lubes it up just a little bit. One really cool thing about this melting pot is that the slag that's on top, like I said, you can wipe it off if you want, but you don't necessarily have to as long as you've got plenty in there. Because this spout is always letting the metal drip, you can see there's a little drip there from last time, but it will drip right through there, and then you can use your mold that way. So you'll take your mold, and this is a mold here, and you'll just put it under there, and you'll pull up on the lever, and then it will shoot in there a little bit at a time. So before we get going anymore, I'm going to go ahead and plug in this melting pot, and then we're going to start with some lead. Now that it's plugged in, I'm going to go ahead and crank this guy up to pretty high, you know, 9, 10, somewhere in there. We're going to get it melting, because that's the first thing we want to do, is get all the lead really hot, and then we can get trucking. Safety glasses, highly recommend. If I look goofy in this, that's why. I don't want that to splash in my face once it gets boiling. Boiling lead in your eyeballs is probably going to hurt. So I've got another little contraption here. This will get some of the slag off the top if I need it. And I also have a magnet here, and you'll see why. I don't necessarily have to have the magnet because I have a ladle, but the reason I have that equipment is because most of the lead I'm using is from wheel weights. I had a buddy that worked at a car manufacturer and or a car dealership, and was just giving me these leftover wheel weights. They're all lead, they work just as good, but they've got some steel in there, and you just have to pull that steel out. But it's cheap, it's easy, and it works perfect. So what I'm going to do is just take a couple handfuls of this, fill up that pot, kind of get it going, and then once we get that lead melted down, we'll go ahead and pull some of the steel out. Another side note to this is that lead is horrible to breathe in, so you're going to want to try to do this outside or somewhere well ventilated, because you don't want to breathe this stuff in. It can be very dangerous and very harmful to yourself, so try to do it outside if you can. I'm sure I look goofy with these glasses on, and sorry if there's any wind noise, but it's just easiest to do it outside. So let's let that lead get melted down, and then we'll go from there. So the goal for today's video is to fill a tackle box completely full of lead weights, whether it's anything from the pretty small sinkers all the way up to some 3 ounce weights. I don't have a ton of sizes, but they make a million different molds and all kinds of things. This is just the stuff that I use commonly And like I said before, Do It Molds online, they've got a gazillion forms, and you can get anything from lead molds to like a worm mold or a swim bait mold. So it's a very cool company. You should check them out. And it really takes your bait down a lot in price. Like for me, accounting for the lead and everything, I just did one comparison. I was going to be paying about 35 cents if I did it myself versus about $1.50 to $1.75 if I buy some of these from the store. So big difference in price, and it really can save you some money. The initial cost is a lot of money, but after that it really goes down quickly. Starting to melt a little bit down in there, kind of hard to see from the top, but it's going to be going quickly very shortly. We are making progress. As you can probably hardly see, it's starting to liquefy quite a bit. I just got a screwdriver here to work it around a little bit. This is probably not the safest way to do it, but since there's a lot of metal in there, I kind of want to stir it around some, and then I'll have to pick that metal out once it's all liquefied. But as you can see, I've still got a few of these wheel weights that haven't melted yet. We're getting there though. We're pretty close. Should be shortly now. There's you a piece of wheel weight that has absolutely no lead left on it. Alright, as you can see, that lead has officially melted. There's still a lot of wheel weights in there. I've got quite a few of them there. Just pull them out with the pliers or some kind of strainer. Get those taken out with some sort of strainer. I use pliers and some needle nose, and then we can move on. The first mold that I'm going to be using is an egg weight mold. I went ahead and put both of the sticks in there. That way I can do both sides all at once, get it done as fast as possible. And let's do it. Just going to want to pull up on this handle. Give it a second, tip it, we can do the other side. Definitely need to pull these sticks out before it dries too much. As you can see, it does take a little effort, but it's not undoable. It's not too bad. And then you open it up, and there's your 6 perfect egg weights. Kind of tap them on the table a little bit. You can tap them on the table or whatever you want. Now you're going to want to be careful because this is extremely hot. I like to use a regular pair of pliers as well as needle nose. That way you can grab the egg weight with these regular pliers, pinch good, and the needle nose, you're just going to want to twist off that little end piece, and you can put that right back in the pot. And then here you've got a perfect egg weight. And the nice thing is even the ends of this don't have any fray on it, so this is a perfect egg weight that's not going to rip up your line, and you can use it over and over again, and it should be good. Now we got one down, about 100 to go. Mold number 2, looking perfect. Now I'm going to be using the one that goes on the bottom. Another good weight. Don't use these a ton, so I probably won't make as many of them. Kind of got a little jank handle on there. One side busted, so made my own little handle. So we'll see what happens. I know that this mold's older, but it still works pretty good. It doesn't seal perfectly right around the top, so you might have to file them down just a little bit. But let's see what happens. Another great looking mold here. Got all my weights lined up pretty nicely, I think. They look really good. Let's pull them out and really test them. There you go. Nice looking wall of weights. And they've also got the sizes you can see on the bigger ones. They've got the dots, 2 dots, 3 dots to indicate the size in ounces, I believe. So you got 1, 2, and 3 ounces, and then coming down you've got some smaller weights. That's for if you're maybe river fishing or something along those lines and you don't want it moving off the bottom, use this big guy. These weights are still very hot, so you don't want to touch them. The only thing that worries me about these baits is up top where the hole is, you are going to be tying your line there. Obviously your hook will be above it and your line will come down and tie onto this. It's not a big deal if you snap off, but you can tell that where that mold is lining up, it might be hard to see with the camera, but there's a little bit of a gap from where the seam is. So you may want to take like a chainsaw file and stick it in there and file that down to smooth it all the way so your line never rips. Got some more in there melting. As you can see, you can knock out a lot of weights really quickly. I mean, I haven't been here that long and we're knocking them out quick, really quick. I'd highly recommend trying this. It's definitely worth your time, and it's going to save me tons and tons of money. I mean, some of these weights can be $1, $1.50, $2 a piece. A lot of them, you know, are in the 30 to 35 cent range, but it adds up quick. It really does. I mean, if you start taking into account how many you use each trip, and you know, over the year, I mean, this is a no-brainer, especially if you can get the lead for free or at least cheap. It's definitely worth it. Look into it. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will catch you on another episode. If you have questions, let me know down below.